What's something only kids who grew up poor would understand? The feeling when your phone gets shut off mid-conversation because the bill wasn't paid. I was 16, talking to my crush Sarah Martinez about meeting up after school when the line went dead with that awful automated voice saying, "Service temporarily suspended." The embarrassment burned through my chest like acid. I sat there in my bedroom for hours, staring at the black screen, willing it to spring back to life. The walls of our cramped apartment felt like they were closing in. From the kitchen, I could hear Mom shuffling around in her worn waitress shoes, the ones with the sole coming loose that she kept meaning to replace but never could afford to. At school the next day, I pretended my phone was broken. When Sarah found me by my locker and asked why I didn't call her back like I promised, I mumbled something about family visiting from out of state. The lie tasted bitter on my tongue, but it felt safer than admitting the truth. Then telling this beautiful, smart girl that my family couldn't even afford to keep the lights on some months, let alone maintain a phone plan. This went on for weeks, missing group chats where everyone planned weekend trips to the mall or movies, being left out of last-minute plans coordinated through group texts I never received. Standing there during lunch while friends pulled out their phones, feeling invisible, like I was watching their lives through thick glass. My mom was working double shifts at Henderson's Diner, coming home each night with swollen feet and pockets jingling with quarters and crumpled dollar bills. I'd watch her count tips at our kitchen table under the flickering overhead light, organizing the money into careful piles, always coming up short. The worst part was watching Sarah get closer to Jake Morrison, whose dad owned Morrison Auto, which meant half the car lots in town. Jake had the newest iPhone, wore expensive cologne, and never worried about anything getting shut off or suspended or disconnected due to non-payment. He could take Sarah anywhere, buy her anything, and never have to make excuses about broken phones. One day, after weeks of this torture, Sarah cornered me after chemistry class. "Are you avoiding me?" she asked, her dark brown eyes hurt and confused. "Did I do something wrong? Because ever since that day you said you'd call, it's like you've been a completely different person." I wanted to tell her everything right then, about how the phone got cut off because Mom was $40 short that month, about how we'd eaten ramen noodles for dinner 6 days straight, about how Dad left us with nothing but bills and broken promises, but the shame was suffocating. Then, out of nowhere, our weird, quiet classmate Chen appeared beside us like some kind of guardian angel. "Hey, your phone working yet?" he asked loudly, loud enough that half the kids walking past could hear him. My face went crimson, and I wanted to disappear into the floor, but Marcus just smiled, this easy, genuine smile. "Mine got shut off last month too. Same company as yours, right? They're absolutely terrible with their payment processing systems." He pulled out his own phone, an expensive model that looked brand new. "Look, same error message I got when I tried to make calls. Took them 2 weeks to fix their computer glitch, even though my family paid the bill on time." Sarah looked confused, but sympathetic. "That's so frustrating. You'd think these big companies would be able to fix their systems instead of making customers suffer. That's probably why you couldn't call me back that night." I nodded, afraid that if I spoke, my voice would give everything away. Years later, at our 10-year high school reunion, I learned the truth about Marcus Chen. Turns out his father owned 3 successful tech companies, and his family lived in the biggest house in Hillcrest, complete with a 3-car garage and swimming pool. That phone he'd showed me that day, he deliberately called his service provider and paid them to suspend his service for a few days, just to back up my story. That boy gave me my dignity back when I needed it most, and he did it without expecting anything in return. Some people understand kindness in a way that changes your whole world.